Hello there Hollows, and welcome to another video. It's been a little bit of a while, especially since I did a Dark Souls video. I focused on a Doom analysis there for a good chunk of time. It took a hell of a lot of work, a lot of time, and then straight after that I've had lots of personal life stuff. I've had a very hectic year, I must say. I'm not going to go into it all because that's not what this channel's about. It's to focus on entertainment, but I haven't really been feeling like making high effort videos. I've been trying to do things to relax. I've been enjoying games in just a relaxing, enjoyable way, which I haven't really done for a long time. As sort of like a way of de-stressing in the last, I'd say, month, really. Because I've been going to hospital to visit relatives and things, and yeah, so it's been a very hectic year for myself, or hectic few months, I should say, for myself. Had a lot of things happen at once, so I apologise for that. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. I decided that I would make another video on Dark Souls. I know that I'm trying to move my channel towards being about a variety of games, but at the end of the day, Dark Souls is still my favourite game of all time. And this video I'm going to talk about the infinite replayability of the original Dark Souls game. Because to me, the original Dark Souls does have an infinite amount of replayability, where I feel like I can always go and play Dark Souls, and there's always something that'll be different. There's always some new way I can enjoy the game that I haven't enjoyed the game before. I think this is down to a variety of things. One of the main things is obviously the world design, which I've spoken about many times on this channel, how amazing the world design of Dark Souls is. But I think it's not just the world design, it's what the world design allows for, because the amount of ways you can approach Dark Souls when you're starting a new playthrough is insane. If you want to, you can go and fight Taurus Demon first, or you can skip him and go to Capra Demon first by doing that skip, and then go back round, then fight Taurus Demon. Or you can just skip the entire Taurus Demon section entirely. You can fight the Moonlight Butterfly as your first boss if you want to. You can fight using exploits if you wanted to. You could fight the Iron Golem as your first boss if you really wanted to, and then go straight to Analondo by using that exploit where you get pushed out of bounds and then you got to try and navigate through to skip the gate of Sen's Fortress. You could fight the Gargoyles as your first boss. There are so many ways that you can approach a playthrough of Dark Souls, and this isn't even getting into the different builds that you can do as well. So, getting into that then, if you wanted to, you can go and get the Gravelord's sword first, and then go back up and then fight the Taurus Demon with this insanely overpowered weapon that you've got straight away. Which, again, just adds so much replayability. You can go and fight Pinwheel first, and then go down Tomb of the Giants and get stuff from there if you want to, right at the start of the game, before you've even really done anything. All the different builds as well, the different ways that you can approach it. If you want to play as a sorcerer, a pyromancer, dex builds, intelligence, well, I've already said intelligence builds, but all of that just means that the game is just so rich all the time. And I think it's something, for me personally, the other games in the series didn't quite have that same thing, especially Dark Souls 3 really didn't have that aspect of it down for me, where you can always go and play Dark Souls 3. Yes, you've got the different builds that you can approach Dark Souls 3 with, but the game is very linear. Other than that, you have to fight certain bosses in a certain order in your run, with a couple of exceptions, like the Dance for the Boreal Valley. You can play him earlier if you want to, but I think that specifically means that Dark Souls 3 has much less replayability for me personally. And this is something that Elden Ring did tap back into, with that freedom, where you can go and you can choose to go and generally take on any boss whenever you want to. And I do really appreciate that about the game, but I think there's other aspects in which Elden Ring falters for me personally. And Dark Souls 2 is a good example of them also trying to do this, I suppose, because you do have quite a bit of freedom. Before you've even done it, there isn't even a tutorial in Dark Souls 2. You can just run straight to Majula and go and try and do stuff if you want to, and go and fight a variety of bosses, but it still doesn't have that same freedom. And I think Dark Souls is partly due to exploits as well. Glitches, like I said, where you can skip Sen's Fortress, the Capra Demon skip, so you can skip Taurus Demon and go straight down to Capra Demon. Those kind of things. Also, the fact, I mean, for me, a huge part of it is you can go to New Londo Ruins and then you can go to Valley of the Drakes right from the beginning of the game. That's a huge thing for me personally, that I think is just... That's a massive part of the whole progression of the game, which is there, really. Now, I don't want to keep repeating myself, because I've said these things a variety of times on this channel. Not a variety, a number of times on the channel. I'm confusing my words, you see. You can tell it's been a while. So I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I think I really would love to see them do this specific world design again. I know, like I said, I know they're going to probably push for Elden Ring stuff now. They're probably going to do a sequel to Elden Ring, or something which is more in that kind of vein of things. But for me, achieving the world design of the original Dark Souls, nowadays, with the technology they've got nowadays, I would absolutely love to see them do something like that again. Because imagine, seriously, with the budget, the resources, and everything they've got going for them now, if they tried to do another game with that world design of the original Dark Souls, it would be crazy. You could have 5 times the size of it with even more things that are intricately connected. It would be insane. And I just think, like, a part of it does make me think that, you know, the design of the original Dark Souls was an accident, somehow. I've heard other people speak about this before, but maybe it was that just when they started piecing the world together, things just looked like they could connect them, so they did. Because the only other time they've ever really attempted to do something like that is Bloodborne. And Bloodborne does have a couple of moments like that, which are really cool, but aside from those couple of moments, it's not on that same level. And I really do think I would love to see them try this again, in my personal opinion. Now, I'm not quite finished with the video yet, but I just also want to say, whilst it's on my mind, that I am still doing my Bloodborne analysis. I'm still working on it. It's just going to take a bit of time. So I wanted to ask you all as well, would you be okay with a few more non-scripted videos just for a bit? Because I don't really have it in me right now to try and actually go and do some proper, really big, massive scripted projects again. I think because my Doom video didn't do very well as well, it's still only sitting at around 1,000 views. It's a bit... I know for a fact my Bloodborne analysis would get more views, but I just don't really feel like just sitting down and focusing really hard on a big scripted project right now. So I think I'm going to go back to a few more of these kind of style videos for a bit before carrying on and then doing some more analysis videos again. But one thing I'd like to do as well is maybe do some more casual look backs at games currently. Instead of those big analysis projects, I'd like to just go back and maybe have more like 20 minute to half an hour look backs at these old games from my childhood and maybe from some of your childhood as well. These kind of old games that I think should get another look at nowadays, you know. And some other games, because I did a poll recently as well asking if people would be interested in seeing me put out videos on the games that I'm currently playing, just to relax and unwind in my own time. Like Yakuza, I'm currently really enjoying the Yakuza series, and I'd like to do a video on Yakuza Kiwami, and then maybe Yakuza Kiwami 2, and maybe just have a look at some of those games while I'm playing them as well. Anyway, since I'm playing them anyway, might as well get footage for them and just do a quick video on them. So let me know what you all think of that. I was going to try and think if I had anything else to say about the how infinitely replayable the original Dark Souls is, but I think I've actually covered it as well as I'm going to, really. I think the original Dark Souls, it is just a masterpiece, really. Unfortunately, there is that ladder section of the game, but I still really enjoy it, because I think the gameplay of Dark Souls itself, for me personally anyway, pulls me through Lost Izalith, Duke's Archives, Tomb of the Giants, and all that. I still think New Londo Ruins is good, though. I don't know what people are thinking about with that. I've always thought New Londo Ruins is good. But anyway, I've hoped you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I've sort of jumped off topic a little bit, but yeah, it's my first video back for a little while. I'm just sort of trying to explain where I'm looking to try and take the channel while still trying to make a somewhat entertaining video discussing Dark Souls. So if you've enjoyed this video, Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave and share this video with anything I enjoyed if you feel it was good enough. Thank you again for watching. This is Soul Reborn, signing out. Have a good one.